An instructor whose betting fixation saw him rack up £250,000 of obligation and once wager and lose £50,000 on a solitary pony at Cheltenham has turned his life around in the wake of winding up in a real predicament and needing to end everything. Patrick Foster, 33, of Oxford, begun wagering nonchalantly with companions at Durham University. However, it spiraled wild when, in the wake of moving to London and finding a generously compensated occupation in the city, he won £35,000 in one hit. By then his relationship with betting changed and he started pursuing huge successes, wagering progressively bigger amounts of cash and falling further into obligation. Subsequent to changing professions and turning into an instructor, he started acquiring cash off his understudies folks and his associates. By the start of 2018 he conceded things were wild. He told the BBC, "I had 76 distinctive internet wagering records and 23 payday advances. I had acquired cash off 113 distinct individuals and I had £250,000 worth of betting obligation that should have been taken care of quickly." After putting down a £50,000 wager on the Cheltenham Gold Cup and watching the pony lose, he chose to take his life, yet was saved by a book from his sibling. Patrick has since turned his life around and now gives talks cautioning youngsters about the threats of betting. He'll be taking care of his obligations for the following 15 years, and has penned a book about his involvement with the expectation that sharing his story will help have an effect to individuals who have gone down a comparable way. While growing up, Patrick longed for turning into an expert cricket player, and won a games grant to Oundle School in Northamptonshire, one of the top schools in the country. At 18 he marked a 2-year proficient agreement with Northamptonshire County Cricket Club and was picked for the England under-19s crew. Choosing to get a degree as a backup, Patrick got a spot at Durham and encountered his first excursion to the bookies when a gathering of fellows welcomed him along during Freshers' Week. After winning £250 on a fortunate roulette turn, Patrick was snared and started to bet all the more routinely after he harmed his lower leg, which means he was unable to play cricket. It gradually started to assume control over his life and began to affect his cricket, and when he was given up by his mentor, it hit him hard. Patrick moved to London and moved gradually up the vocation stepping stool in the city. Arrival and advancement and a compensation ascend with a stout reward. To praise, he put £500 on a football collector and won £34,988. The inclination it gave me resembled nothing else. It completely changed my relationship with betting, he told the BBC. Each time I put down a wager, I figured I would win £35,000. In the event that I didn't, I figured I would win it again at some point. He conceded more modest successes neglected to give him the buzz he wanted, so he started wagering bigger sums, a few thousands, on ponies, driving him to lose that cash inside 5 weeks. Before long he'd maximized his overdraft, taken out 2 bank advances and missed a lease installment and chose to trust in his folks. Yet when it came to advising them, he was unable to do it. All things being equal, he chose to change vocation and found a new line of work showing history and Latin in Oxford. Yet, he proceeded to bet and, presently on a much decreased compensation, his obligations kept on spiraling, provoking him to take out more advances and MasterCards. Frantic for money and encompassed by rich individuals, he made up stories so that they'd loan him money. "I disclosed to them the taxman was after me. I said I had slammed my vehicle and that I required cash on a transient premise," he reviewed. Toward the finish of 2016, "I chose to move schools since I was concerned I would be discovered out." He even misled new sweetheart Charlotte, too terrified to even consider revealing to her the truth. By 2018 he was betting enormous measures of cash throughout the day and night, and dreaded he'd lose his employment when the head teacher at his new school opened an examination concerning him in the wake of accepting grievances from educators and guardians. It was now he faced a definitive challenge on Cheltenham Festival's feature race, putting £50,000 on "Might Bite," which lost by a length. "A couple of days after the fact, I left my work and I got my vehicle keys and drove round for 3 hours. I chose to take my life since I felt like there could have been no other alternative," he told the BBC. He messaged his more youthful sibling revealing to him his arrangement, who attempted to consider him prior to sending him a book, asking him not to proceed with it since his family and sweetheart wouldn't adapt. Patrick said that was simply the second he quit thinking and started thinking about others, and made the troublesome stride of telling his friends and family everything. With their help he spent a spell in recovery prior to reaching the Professional Cricketers Association, PCA, which assisted him with standing up sincerely and financially. Patrick started working for Epic Risk Management, a consultancy that forestalls betting-related damage, and has given talks at in excess of 200 schools, 100 brandishing associations and 50 organizations. In the event that I can have an effect to one individual, it will all be beneficial, he said. It is my method of saying thank you to individuals who have saved my life. For secret help, sign on to Samaritans.org or call the Samaritans on 116,123.